What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Pop Culture with me, JC, where you can see all kinds of pop culture content. Could be anything from movie reviews to trailer reactions or what we have today. That's right, more EA Sports college football news. This month, we're getting, of course, the full reveal coming in just a couple of weeks, around the middle of this month. I think May 15th, May 16th is the target date Matt Brown has talked about for that. Of course, he's also stated subject to change, could come earlier. So now that we're in the month of May, this shit could happen anytime, guys. Could be getting this full reveal, all kinds of game modes, gameplay, cover athletes, all the details that we're going to be reporting on. We'll be covering it here on JC's Pop Culture. So be sure, follow along here if you're a fan of EA Sports College Football 25. Going to be providing a ton of these updates in the lead up to the release there in July. With that being said, speaking of those updates, in previous ones, we've shared Chris Fowler's update videos. He's been sharing on his social media and shit. We know he's one of the announcers working on the game. He's been detailing all his studio work. The last update I told you, the next one of his I shared would be his final, and we would know that his work on the game is complete. This past week, he shared that. So let's take a look and listen in to Chris Fowler's latest update in regards to EA Sports College Football 25.
Folks, that's a wrap from my part of the voiceover work for the EA Sports College Football game. I'm told more than 115 hours over about 2 years. It was a wild experience. Kirk and I did some joint recordings on the final session, covering some analysis in the booth. If your quarterback throws 5 interceptions that you continue to call nothing but pass plays, that is analyzed. If your team goes to triple overtime or beyond and it becomes a contest of 2-point conversion plays and your defense picks one off and runs it back for a pick 2 to win the game, that's in the game, along with a crazy reaction. Got done reading more than 700 player names in the game. It is an incredibly detailed process. I couldn't be more impressed with everyone at EA, total pros who care so much about the quality and sweat the details. EA is going to release much more information about gameplay, etc., cover athletes, I know, before the end of the month, so keep an eye out for that. It was a really cool experience. Couldn't be more proud to be part of this stuff, but I'm also glad to have my office back for the first time in a couple of years. I moved all the sound equipment out. Now I can see the walls again, which feels pretty good.
So they're going, even said towards the end there, in a couple of years. So 2 years of work he's put in on this game. I think that the commentating is going to be super detailed, which is awesome to see. And, in the past, we already know all the different, announcers and sideline reporters, studio guys that's going to be working on this game. And so we kind of figured there would be multiple commentary teams, but hadn't officially came out and really said that yet. But how about Fowler's colleague, Kirk Herbstreit, coming out and saying that shit this past week, really announcing that, depending on the magnitude of the game, you might get a different commentary team. Check this out. He gave this to USA Today, but I'm going to share this article from Sports Illustrated, as it says here, and you can see on the screen. Announcers in EA Sports College Football 25 will depend on the magnitude of the game. Kirk Herbstreit, one of the announcers who lent his voice to College Football 25, told USA Today this week he and his partner Chris Fowler won't be the only announcers players here in the game. There will be multiple broadcast teams that will change based on the magnitude of the matchup, according to Herbstreit, and here is his exact quote. Chris and I won't be on every game. You're going to have different broadcast partners for different games, depending on the magnitude of the game. That will dictate who is calling the game. EA Sports Senior Vice President Daryl Holt declined to elaborate on what other announcers could be in the game, but told USA Today that more details should be coming in the next few weeks. They go on to announce, some of the other people that are in the game. Maybe some of these some of these announcers will be involved in the commentary teams, the other ones, or maybe there's some other ones they're keeping close to the vest. I know we're all hoping that they're, going to bring in Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to happen, but because I think it's almost going to be an exclusive ESPN thing for this game. I know that that's something they've done in the past. I would love to see them, use CBS and Fox Sports. That would be awesome. But I'm just kind of tempering my expectations for that because I feel like it's going to be ESPN heavy. So Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, Jesse Palmer, Kevin Connors, David Pollock, all of those guys are on the game in addition to Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. But, good updates from Fowler and Herbstreit as well. Now we know there are different commentary teams. So, you have a game of the week type game, that Saturday night, college game day game. You're going to get Fowler and Herbstreit. But if you don't, you may get someone else for a noon call. And I'm hoping that there's, multiple, like 2 or 3 different commentary teams instead of just a couple. But even having 2 different ones is an upgrade to what they've done, in years past, and that includes Madden. But we also kind of knew this was coming. I talked about this in previous updates here in the past. Charles Davis has said that Madden was getting multiple commentary teams this year. So, of course, that led us to believe that EA Sports College Football would be doing the same. And then when they announced all the different, ESPN personalities that are involved in the game, that pretty much confirmed it. But now we know it's really going to be dependent on the magnitude of your game and your dynasty mode and things like that. So that's pretty cool as well. So pretty awesome updates here, both from Fowler and Herbstreit in this one. Just continuing to raise our excitement level and our anticipation level for this shit. Cannot wait for July and the release, but we don't have to wait any further to May. Now, in the month of May, we're going to get to know a lot about this game this month. So as we do, be sure to follow along here at JC's Pop Culture if you don't already. Going to be putting out a ton of content in regards to this game as we get all this information coming out this month. So if you're a fan of this game, if you're a fan of movies, TV shows, especially comedy, superhero, and horror, all that's right up my alley. So if it's up yours too, hop along for the ride here at JC's Pop Culture by hitting the subscribe button. And if you made it this far in the video, be sure hit the thumbs up button as well. You've heard my thoughts kind of on these subjects in regards to these announcers. Would love to hear yours. Are you excited about the multiple commentary teams? Who do you think they might be? Throw your thoughts there in the comments. Always appreciate those interactions. They really help here on JC's Pop Culture as well. Having said that, appreciate you tuning in this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.